Hello and welcome back to our channel. Did you have an issue with your plumbing somewhere behind the drywall? Have you needed access to fix a pipe? You're at the right place. I'm going to show you how to, one, fix and patch that hole, and two, add in an access panel like this one so you don't have to cut a hole in the wall again. So make sure you subscribe if this is good content and you think you'll learn something. Hit that notification bell. That helps us help you. So let's get to it here and let me gather up my tools. Well, before we get started, I'm going to put in a access panel in here to access this hole that I made in the wall. If this is something that you're going to be wanting to do in the future, go ahead and click on the link above, top right corner, and that'll take you to that video. But for this video, we're going to fix this drywall. So here's a few things we're going to need. Small trowel, or putty knife they call it, a little wider one. I said before I was going to use this maybe to cut the drywall. Probably use this little. This is some stuff I had laying around. This opens up like that. That'll cut the drywall real easy. Need a tape measure, some little short drywall screws. These here are 1.25 inches long. You can use anything you might have, and a little trowel for mudding, and then a bucket of all-purpose joint compound, which a lot of people refer that as mud, and a little cordless drill. Picked that up at Harbor Freight, very inexpensive, 12 bucks probably. Time you watch this video, it'll probably be more, the way things are getting more expensive. One thing I forgot my 2-foot square. So what we're going to do is we're going to square that off and cut that out. So what I did is I took a square and squared that up and made it 6 by 10. That way it's a little easier to cut another piece out. And then I'm going to take my saw and then go ahead and cut that out. Okay, now we got that 6 by, what I say it was, 6 by 10 hole cut out. Not perfect, but don't have to be. Now let's go get a piece of scrap drywall we have laid around. If not, then we'll have to run to Lowe's and get a small piece. They sell them, I think, 12 by 24 inches square. So what do you do before you cut something? What do you do before you cut a piece of wood? You double check your measurements. Thank goodness I checked, it's 9 inches. Here I would have made a wrong cut if I would have cut it 6 like I originally thought. So we want to cut it 9 by 10 to the center of that stud. So we found a piece of drop. This was from whenever I finished off my basement. So it's wide enough, it's long enough. So let's go ahead and mark this off and cut it. So an easy way to cut the drywall would be using this little utility knife. Here, let me show you something. This is something I've learned how to do some time ago. You just cut it enough so it's through the paper. Not even 1/8 of an inch. You can pick this up and it breaks right in half. See how that breaks in half? And then on the back side you just cut just enough so it cuts through the paper. There you go. There. So double check this again. 10 inches wide. So now I want to go 9 inches this way, so let's cut that. Okay, we got that cut. Now we have our piece. 10 inches by 9 inches. Well, now with this piece here, great idea for this is we'll cut this into, let's see, 2 pieces. And I'll show you what we're going to do with that. It's a little trick that I'd learned. Okay, we'll take and put this piece up here. Does it fit? Yes, it fits there quite nicely. And these little pieces we made extra, we're going to go ahead and screw them in right here. Screw one right here, screw one right here. Make sure that the backing of this drywall from cutting it is cleaned off on the back where we put this piece. That way it's flush against, and then put screws in there. Now since I'm using real small teeth on the drywall screws, when I run the screws in, they didn't go a little bit flush. The way to work around that is either put a piece of wood back behind here so that the teeth can grab a hold of it and sink the screw into it. Or what I can do is I can just take a drill bit and just drill a little bit of a hole so the head of the screw can go below the surface. Like that. Now we have those in, and you can see these are real smooth, flush with the drywall. And now we have a good surface to put that piece of drywall in here. We're going to screw it tight here and here, and put a screw or two here and a screw or two here. Okay, we got them all in. All the screws are nice and flush. Everything looks good. I'm going to go ahead and put a screw here. You can see how this is loose. Put a screw there and a screw here. So now you want to get yourself some drywall compound, or like some people said, mud. Now you don't need to get a big bucket like I got here. This is from another project that I had. You can get a small amount at Lowe's, Home Depot. And you want to make this at a consistency of make it like mustard maybe. Well, mustard's probably a little bit too thick. But maybe like a ketchup formula. And what we're going to want to do is get ourselves a little bit of this. Fill in the cracks. And put it a little bit wider. Maybe about a 3-inch. And the reason why we're going 3 inches wide is because we have some tape here. You can get this, a roll of this real cheap, a couple bucks at Lowe's or Home Depot. Okay, there's the compound over the crack, the seam, and make sure the nails are covered up. Don't have to look pretty, as long as you got a decent amount over it. Now we got a piece of our tape cut, and you want to lay it right over the center of the seam, and you want to press it in. You want to make sure there's no air bubbles under it. And once you have that over it, now I'm going to try to do this and hold my phone at the same time. I want to take my one finger, hold the tape down, and then use this to press the tape into the mud. Okay. See how that works? And then I'll put another thin layer over top of the tape, like that. Okay, there we go. I got the strip put up here after I put the bottom one on. And then I cut a short one in between and run it in here. Pressed out the air bubbles like I showed earlier. And the key is, it's okay if you have extra mud on there. I'm not a professional like I think I am sometimes. So a professional, he would just lay it in there real fast and zip, 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 in 2 minutes done. But this took me probably a couple minutes. Just keep applying it over and over until I got it nice coating on there. Okay, now we're back. You can take a look at it, see what that looks like. And we will, I picked up myself, now that I've used this one a couple times, you can get these at Lowe's, or you can just use regular 80 or 60 grit sandpaper, and you can just kind of sand this down. Okay, we sanded it down, and you can kind of see the paper came through a little bit. So what we'll do is we'll just go ahead and put another coat on there, a real light coat. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a wider trowel, and get some more mud or compound and put it on here and then spread it across evenly. Okay, we went ahead and used that 8-inch wide trowel and kind of put a light coat over it, and then I'll come back maybe tonight. After that dries, I'll put a light fan on it to speed up the process, but you don't want to put too much air on it, that way it don't crack. But since it's real thin, it probably won't. Now, if you really want to be spontaneous, take a sponge like this and make it wet, not dripping wet, and then you can just wipe over it like this, and then you can get away with not even sanding it. But I enjoy sanding it. I think does a better job. But when you become real good at it, then you don't need to sand it. You can just use a sponge and just sponge it. That's how the professionals do it. But you're probably like me, never did this type of work before, or very little. And it's neat to try new things. I went ahead and sanding this down here. I put another light coat on it real lightly. And as you can see, I got it all sanded down good now. And I'm ready for light coat of paint. And you'll never see that repair spot ever again. So if you've seen this content, it's helpful, go ahead and subscribe and hit that notification bell, because I'm going to be putting together, my next video will be an access panel. Until the next time, see you later.